What up, interwebs? How's it going? For today's video, I thought we'd do some story time. Now, if you watched my first video, you know that I originally went to RPI before I eventually transferred to Siena. So today, I thought I'd tell you the story of why I transferred schools. I'm gonna attempt to do it without spilling this tea with all my hand movements, so wish me luck on that. Now, you're probably wondering why someone majoring in business decided to go to an engineering school in the first place. Well, it all started back in high school when I got a scholarship from RPI for being really good at math and science. And of course, being good at math and science means you obviously want to be an engineer regardless of your own personal ambitions. So when it eventually came time to apply to schools, I thought I might as well apply to them since they gave me this really nice scholarship. I applied there even though I had no ambition to be an engineer. But let's face it, I was 17, I had no idea what I wanted to do anyways. I mean, how's a 17-year-old supposed to know what he wants to do with the rest of his life? I just got trusted driving a car, now you want me to lay out the path of my life for the next 45 years? So I applied to RPI, along with a couple other schools, and got into all of them. But like I said in my previous video, I got blinded by all those zeros in the scholarship that RPI gave me. Granted, looking back on the situation, it really wasn't that great of a deal. I mean, yeah, $20,000 is a lot of money, but when tuition is $42,000, it's not really that impressive, relatively speaking. It's like getting half off a Ferrari. I mean, great, you took 50% off the price, that doesn't make it that much more affordable. But I didn't see that at the time, so I decided to go there anyways. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a hardcore engineering school, but don't. Just don't. I mean, unless you want to be an engineer, then yeah, totally go to an engineering school. But if you have any other plans in your life, don't go. I wish someone had told me that when I was applying to colleges. I thought I'd be fine. Boy, was I wrong. My first indication something was horribly wrong was at orientation. All the incoming freshmen were at some orientation event at one of the gyms on campus, and all of the orientation leaders were up in front telling us all about all the students in the freshman class, where we were all from, what our backgrounds was. I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't listen to most of what they had to say. But one thing did catch my ear. The only reason I paid attention to it was because they made a really big deal out of it, like it was some kind of earth-shattering announcement. And this year's freshman class has the best overall ratio of male to female students in all of RPI history. The ratio for this year's class is 4-to-1. And then everyone started clapping. And all I could think to myself is, why are we clapping? This is not a number we should be happy about. Then it came time for me to start planning my schedule, which is when I started to think that maybe I wanted to major in business. And RPI told me, sure, we have a business school. If by business school you mean, hey, do you want to manage engineers? I took enough computer and technical courses that first year that I was halfway to my information systems minor after I transferred. That same year, I probably took maybe 2 actual business courses. But what really pushed me over the edge were the students. If you want to picture the student body at RPI, picture that one nerdy, awkward kid that you went to high school with. You know, the one that was really good at school, but didn't really know how to talk to anyone. Now imagine he, and all of his equivalents at every other high school, went to the same college. That's RPI for you. A student body filled with kids who are intellectually gifted, but socially retarded. Hey you. No, not you. Though, nice shirt. Good choice on that one. No, I'm talking to you, person on the edge of their seat who's about to write a scathing comment because I use the word retarded. Why don't you just pipe down, alright? That word is a legitimate part of the English language and I use it correctly. It is not always an insult. Don't take it out on me because you don't know the difference. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Mike, I'm sure you're exaggerating. Not everyone could have been like that. True, I'll give you that. Maybe like 0.5% of the student body at RPI was fairly normal. Every once in a while I would see them, but I can never figure out where they went. They were like some elusive endangered species that the native population would pass down stories about. Many moons ago, cool kids used to roam this campus freely. I'd see them in class on the other side of the room, or maybe randomly walking down the other side of the quad, but I could never figure out where they went. They would just disappear without a trace. Instead, I got stuck with the 99.5% of the population that had no idea how to function outside of their dorm room. They did so many things that bothered me. One thing that surprised me how much it bothered me was the total lack of decent manners people had there. I could count on one hand how many times someone said bless you after someone sneezed or held the door open for someone who was behind them. It was like they were all too absorbed in their own little world, trying to figure out mathematical formulas or devise strategies for World of Warcraft to actually pay attention to anyone around them. I'd like to talk to their parents and ask them how the heck they messed up so badly raising them. And don't even get me started on personal hygiene. I thought people had figured that out by then. Boy, was I wrong. The smells. Oh my god, the smells. Another thing that bothered me is whenever I was forced to have a conversation with one of them. Every time it was like, dude, I know we're at an engineering school. That doesn't mean that's all I want to talk about. I kid you not, I spent a good 30 minutes listening to 2 kids have a heated debate about whether Bill Gates or Steve Jobs was a bigger computer geek. And by listen to, I mean they sat down next to me in the dining hall with no provocation on my part, and raped my ears with their conversation. Though to be completely honest, I have no idea what I would have talked to them about had I had the chance. Certainly not pop culture, that's for sure. True story. During our week-long orientation in RPI, I had some downtime, and having not received my RPI-issued laptop, which was an overpriced piece of junk, but I digress. I decided to watch some TV, and being that it was in the middle of the day, there wasn't really much on, so I settled for a rerun of the MTV Music Video Awards. Somehow or another, about 5 guys walked into my room and sat down and decided to watch the awards show with me. For the next 15 to 20 minutes, I had to explain to these 5 guys who decided to swarm around my tiny dorm-sized television while I tried to have some me time, every single person who came on stage. So having had enough of that, I decided to go out into the common room and call a friend for some halfway decent conversation. I wasn't out there more than 5 minutes when I turned around and saw the entire group of guys that was in my room saunter out into the common room, plop down on the couch next to me, turn on the TV, and start watching the award show out in the common room, as if I needed to be there to hold their hand and provide commentary on what was going on. Like, really guys, you can't take a hint? And those are just a few stories, and a few of the reasons why I finally decided to leave. I feel like there should be a moral or something to this story, if there is one. It's when it's time to come to choose a college. Don't go to some college because they gave you a nice scholarship, or your parents want you to go there, or all your friends are going there, or because it's close to your girlfriend's college. Choose a school that fits you and gets you to the place you want to be in life. Because when it comes down to it, isn't that the whole point of college anyways? Guys, if you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button, or leaving a comment down below, maybe telling me about one of your college horror stories so I don't feel like I'm the only one that had to go through this. If you guys really like this video, maybe I'll make one in the future telling some more horror stories from my college experience. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.